Hello everybody, and welcome to this video. Today, we're going to look through 3 animals that cannot be found in the wild in Bulgaria, and see if they can survive, reproduce, and possibly adapt and evolve. I will rank them by 2 to 3 categories: differences in temperatures from where they've taken from, their new diet, and possibly adaptability. But before I test each of the animal species, I will first present you with some information about them. Let's begin. So, our first animal will be the ostrich, specifically the common African ostrich. Typically, as their name suggests, they are found in Africa, and have a predominantly plant-based diet, though they will sometimes consume small amounts of meat and insects. Strangely enough, there are a few ostrich farms in Bulgaria, which might give us a small insight on how easily they might survive. However, our ostriches will be directly taken from Africa, rather than from those farms, since the birds there might have adapted a little. The first challenge these birds might face in Bulgaria are the differences in temperature. As ostriches across Africa have adapted to live in highly fluctuable temperatures, I don't see this being a huge problem for them during the summer. However, it's a different story during the winter. While the coldest temperature ever recorded in that country was back in 1947, -38.3 degrees Celsius, the warmest temperatures in Bulgaria can be found in Sandanski, a city, located in the Rhodope Mountains, close to North Macedonia and Greece. Despite its climate, the coldest temperature ever recorded there was -21 degrees Celsius, and was back in 1963. However, despite these hardships, there is still one option left for the ostriches to remain warm: caves. By getting into caves during the winter, the ostriches would find themselves in a warmer environment than the outside world, as the temperature of caves remain a relatively constant temperature as during the summer, so during the winter. But the other problem is food. Assuming we drop the ostriches around Sandansko, that is, in the Rhodope Mountains, for their best chance at survival during the summer, their new diet might include things such as leaves from different types of trees, such as oak and beech, grass, and different types of flowers. As previously mentioned, they might sometimes also munch on grasshoppers. But during the winter, these resources become scarce, and they would have to resort to eating something else. As most winters nowadays in Bulgaria aren't that cold, we could assume there might still be little patches of grass and leaves of flowers, waiting to be eaten. But for the other cases, the ostriches will have little to no food to eat, causing many of them to starve, possibly to starvation. One thing I forgot to mention is, due to how dark caves are, ostriches will have to resort to living in the outside skirts of the caves during the winter. Also, as many caves are tourist attractions, this might also cause them some problems. But, because these birds are warm-blooded, they might be able to survive the winter. Since ostriches are generally large birds, I think that most predators would not attack them, with the exception of bears, who eat almost anything they can get their paws on. If they manage to survive a few generations, I would propose that these birds will adapt to smaller sizes, so they have less need for food during the winter. Possibly, with even more time, they might evolve some cycle of the eye, where the pupil enlarges during the winter, allowing them to go even further and further into the caves, as winters come and pass by. For all these reasons, I'm putting the ostrich on the survivability scale from 1 to 10 a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. The next animal on our list is the American alligator. Yes, that sounds crazy, I know, as there are no crocodilians in Europe. But hear me out, it gets even crazier. The American alligators are large cold-blooded reptiles, who, like bears, feed on almost anything they can get their hands on, be it fish, amphibians, reptiles, bird, mammals, or even other alligators. So, they feed on almost anything that moves, which is big plus for them, because whenever there is another animal, there is a chance they would kill and eat it, and it would still not be so far from what they're used to. Alligators are most active in between temperatures of 28 to 31 Celsius, Stop eating and digesting when temperatures get under 21 degrees Celsius, and become dormant under 13 degrees. Yes, you heard me right, they can survive the harsh and the not so harsh winters by staying dormant. Now, this would be their key strategy in surviving in Bulgaria. For this specific scenario, we're going to drop these alligators in Maritsa, one of the largest and widest rivers in Bulgaria, located in the southern portion of the country. So, as we concluded earlier, alligators possess the ability to stay dormant during winters, allowing them to survive the cold. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the food habits of the creature. First on its food menu, would Myocastor coipus, a large river rodent from South America, introduced to Bulgaria back in 1948. It would make a good meal for the crocodile, but it would not be the only one. That includes anything in the river that swims, from carps to mullet fish. However, there would be one fish, which is actually even more abundant in the Danube River, which would pose a very difficult challenge to these enormous and terrifying reptiles, catfish. Some catfish are able to get more than 3 meters in length, and the largest of which, can become even larger than some alligators. So, it'd be reasonable to think, that alligators would be able to eat literally anything in the river, with the exclusion of the biggest catfish. Not even the smaller ones would be safe. But what about birds? Well, some birds that might be able to get into this fierce monster's diet might be pigeons and ducks, perhaps even chickens, if one of them somehow escapes from the farms. Other birds and other animals that might be eaten by the alligators include herons, escaped pigs, cats, dogs, possibly even boars, juvenile horses, humans, and others that are similar. So in short, introducing the American alligator to Bulgaria's waters is not a very good idea, as it would make the ecosystems collapse on themselves. For all these reasons, I'm putting the glorious alligators on the survivability scale from 1 to 10, a wonderful and well-deserved 7.6. The only reason why I am not putting them a 10 out of 10, is because of how cold some winters can get in Bulgaria. The last animal on our list today is the raccoon. It inhabits urban areas in North America, and can be commonly found searching for and eating food from trash cans. They weigh around 26 kilograms at max, and are also well adapted to survive the cold winters. The animal in itself is very intelligent, and is an omnivore, meaning it can digest both plant-based foods and meat. Raccoons are nocturnal animals. So, assuming that the raccoons are dropped near and inside cities, wherever they are, be it in the plains or in the mountains, they would be able to survive very well. In fact, I think it would survive too well, being able to become as much successful as it is where it currently lives, in North America. For these reasons, I give this animal on the survivability scale from 1 to 10 a 10 out of 10. But hey, these scenarios and their outcomes are just a speculation. Thanks for watching.